I was reading an article online and I see my brother's face. Initially it was just shock. It was like a flashback. It was when I saw that, I didn't see the man that he was. I saw this boy. I saw this little boy that so many times growing up, I would protect him from, our mom or his dad when they were being abusive. I didn't know his situation, if he was living somewhere. I knew that they hadn't caught him yet. I wanted to try to find him to help him peacefully, surrender. I just kept looking, and then I had seen that he was picked up. They'd caught on surveillance that he had set fire to the 1 in 10, which is an LGBTQ youth community center here in the Valley. He was having command hallucinations. He believed that the building was killing his grandmother, who had already been deceased for quite some time. Over the course of approximately 18 months, he was hospitalized 16 times. He failed every single level of care that Mercy Care had available, who is our, state behavioral health provider. He doesn't recognize most of the time that he has a mental illness, and he doesn't recognize the importance of staying on medications for both his mental and physical health. With the arson, Darren spent a year in jail and then was on 3 years of mental health probation. The last option for treatment for him was the Arizona State Hospital.
So what are his diagnoses?
So he has autism. He initially was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but that changed to schizoaffective disorder. Darren and I, we share the same mother in common. We have different fathers. When he turned 18, was kicked out of his house by his dad and was homeless for the better part of 10 years. And it wasn't until I found him on TV that I re-entered his life. I recognized how sick he was and that he really couldn't make safe decisions for himself. And with our mom being deceased since he was a young boy and his dad not having anything to do with him, I reached out to get guardianship of Darren in 2019. He was at ASH for almost 2 years. And when you go from 2 to 7 psych meds and you're not getting the services that you need, it's a disaster. I started to raise questions. What's happening with my brother? And that's when I had found out that they flipped all of his meds. It has a great picture of this great facility that could help. And it could, if it had the right oversight, if it had the right staff, if it had the right administration. It could be literally, bring people back to life and change their lives and allow, these individuals to meaningfully participate in the community amongst all of us. But that's just not what's happening there.
That's where he needs to be. Unfortunately, the treatment at ASH was inadequate, and Darren failed to get better there. Over the last 2 years, he has done little except deteriorate.
He's not at ASH right now, though, is that right?
That's correct.
So what happened? Why is he not there?
The hospital refuses to give me the information about what exactly occurred. They won't show us security footage.
Darren was arrested at ASH after there was an incident in which he is accused of assaulting a staff person. The key is he's in the state hospital for a reason. He's severely mentally ill.
And where is he now?
He's currently at 4th Avenue Jail.
The fact that Darren is doing better here in terms of stability and in terms of day-to-day functioning just shows what is possible when you have proper medical care. Arizona has about 40,000 individuals with serious mental illness. They live in great homes and behavioral health facilities and are served by a whole network of clinics. There are about 300 patients at ASH.
There's not enough staff, there's not enough behavioral health techs. Those are the ones that are on the floor with the patients. And in Arizona, behavioral health techs are not regulated. So you know, they take this short class and they start, you know, working with the most severely mentally ill people in the state.
It's inexcusable we can't fix that problem. We have no accountability, no transparency, very little oversight by the legislature of what goes on in our state hospital. Darren can live in the community. He did for a long time. We have to get them stable. We have to have the support services, the social work services, and some employment that he can do, and all of that is possible.
Sir, can you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Darren William Beach Jr., August 24th,
So what's
1991.
Darren's future look like? Do you think he'll end up back at ASH? And are you concerned about that?
At this point, we don't feel that Darren is safe to return to ASH. We feel that they will continue to target him, potentially put him in a position to where he could catch, you know, another criminal charge against him. So we're at the point where there's nowhere else left for him.
There's nowhere else in Arizona.
There's nowhere else in Arizona.
The unique factors here, the complicating factors, are Mr. Beach's mental health issues.
Are you worried that Darren's going to end up in prison then
Yes,
from this?
I am. I'm very, very worried about that.
We're hoping to get the case designated complex. We think there's some...
What kind of Darren is going to come out of prison? Will I have to step away from my brother at that point because of maybe he becomes more dangerous and more aggressive and more violent? And I don't want that at all. I want to remain in my brother's life. I don't want to have to walk away because I'm afraid of him.